I get a lot of people at clinics I do 30 odd clinics, probably more, in Australia every year. And you get a lot of people come to clinics that have a real confidence issue or fear issue. And I don't want to talk about anyone in particular because some of those stories they might, Australia's not that big a place. People put two and two together. It can make people feel a bit self-conscious, if I use their story in particular. But I do a lot of work with those people, and one thing I'd like to say for other trainers out there is I don't treat those people any different than the ones that come along that have got it half nailed down. Some of those people are trying harder than someone who's not fearful. Bravery is someone who can try regardless of how terrified they might be. And I have a lot of respect for those people. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that, I want to maybe put something out there that helps people a little. And one of the things I do, one of the first things we do is try and get them to let their horse go and trust their horse. And, people always are talking about getting a horse to trust you, and I probably see many more issues that are caused by people not trusting the horse than the other way around. That's where most people's ridden issues tend to come from. So one of the first things we do is try and let them go in the arena and get them to ride around, sometimes in a halter, and try and convince them that they're safe letting that horse go, and that when that horse feels trapped and worried about something, then it's, so if you've got hold of it and you're trying to prevent it from doing things and something frightens it, that you're always going to get a much more explosive reaction than if you just let the horse go and let it travel, and the horse doesn't feel quite so trapped in that frightening situation. And that can take a bit of getting through to people. I'd like to sort of talk about how I handle that with people a little bit, but one of the things I do is not get them to commit to just letting the horse go for laps of the arena or over a distance. If I can get them to let that horse go completely on a big long droopy rein and ride along that arena fence, and then when they feel like they can't do that anymore, reach down one rein and just turn that horse into the fence. They've only got to commit for one or two fence posts to start with, but what they're not doing is grabbing that horse with both hands, making it feel trapped when they feel a bit overwhelmed. So, it's a great way to get them to build on their confidence a little bit, because they don't have to commit for very long. And it's very similar to how I teach young horses. So you start out, you teach them how to handle a little bit of something. You don't throw the whole book at them all in one go. You try and ease them forward that much at a time, and I find that's a really helpful thing for people, not just young horses, but people. So, when I ask people to commit to letting that horse go, if they do it that way, they've only got to commit for one or two fence posts, and then I've given them a tool, something they can do to slow that horse or stop that horse that is not just grabbing hold of the reins and hanging on to its face. And it's amazing over at clinic in my 3 or 4 days just how good some people get at letting their horse go and riding their horse. And then we start to work on their seat and their balance, and and they find out that the horse will do things for them without having to fight with it, and just you get your horse going nicely and working off your energy, and that horse is not rushing and it's not running away from something uncomfortable, and it feels like it's balanced enough to do what you're asking it to do because you're not getting in its way. You get people to feel a little bit of that. It's like flying. When it gets really good and you're on a nice horse, it's like flying. It's a lot of fun. I really, for those trainers out there, I'd really like to see more people put as much time into those that lack confidence as they do those that might be the next world reining champion. So that's a real message I'd like to put out there. Thank you.